why you are afraid to fight and how to overcome your fear of fighting, how to overcome your fear of physical contact, getting punched, right? Because really, when it comes to fighting, that's what you're most afraid of, right? You're most afraid of getting hit, getting hurt, it hurting, bleeding, right? Getting knocked out, having to go to the hospital. So I mean, yeah, and these are all valid reasons for being afraid to fight, right? Besides the obvious, which is you don't want to go to court, you don't want to get arrested, you don't have to pay like thousands of dollars in lawyer fees to get out of this, you don't want to have to divert time away from your family, friends, or work in order to deal with some jackass drunk dude that you met at some venue that, you know, started crap with you, right? However, the main reason why most guys are afraid to fight is for those reasons, right? And I'm not advocating that you overcome your fear of fighting and, you know, knock somebody out if you're in this situation, because you shouldn't. Everything is about de-escalating the situation. Everything about fighting is really mental warfare, right? Psychological warfare. I mean, I cannot tell you the number of fights that I completely de-escalate. Not only my own fights in venues, but other dudes, right? Where I just de-escalate the situation. Wingman of mine, like newbie students, say something really off-putting to the girl, like neg too far, and all of a sudden, you know, her boys happen to be in the venue too, and they're like, that guy, kick his ass, and I have to step in like, well, he's new, man. Hold on 1 second, hold on. Let me tell you what we're up to here. Well, let me tell you what we're doing. Relax, right? I'm not like, oh yeah, what's up, bitch? You know, I mean, yeah, come on, guys. You're not a child anymore. You're not a teenager. You gotta conduct yourself like a man. And if other guys can't conduct themselves like a man, you have to, right? You have to take on that role. You have to be the bigger dude, right? Not physically, but mentally, right? So when it comes to fighting, a lot of guys, it's almost like reminds me of football, right? When I used to play football. It didn't happen in college, because by college, everybody was used to getting hit. But I remember freshman year in high school when guys were trying out for football. A lot of guys who never played Pop Warner or Pee Wee football, they would get out in the field. They were fine without the pads, but as soon as the pads came on and the first day of hitting, you would lose so many guys. They would just quit after the first day because of the contact, right? I mean, and some of those kids, I remember even freshman year, were already big. They could pound, right? I mean, they could lay it on. And so we had a lot of guys quit, you know, whereas really what they should have done was just overcome their fear of getting hit, learn how to take a hit, learn how to protect themselves from a hit, you know, and it wouldn't have been so bad. I mean, yeah, I mean, everybody's afraid of getting hit, right? When I first started playing ball, that was my fear too. I was like, oh shoot, that looks, you know, I'd see one of our linebackers, this guy, Mike, man, kid was already strong. He was already had the body of a 22-year-old, you know, playing with us 13-year-old kids. Man, this guy could hit, and it hurt. But I learned to take a hit from him in practice and how to, you know, just kind of shield away from when I saw him coming. And then it wasn't bad after that, right? It wasn't bad at all. I got used to it, and I got hit by much bigger guys, and even that wasn't a big deal. I've been thrown on the ground by like 300-pound gorillas on steroids. These jackasses taking steroids already. I mean, in college, and that was painful, but I was so used to it. I'm like, ugh, just shake it off, right? You get used to it like anything. Like cold approaching women. Most guys rather jump out of an airplane than go cold approach a beautiful woman, right? But like with anything, once you get used to it, it becomes normal for you, the new normal, it's not that big of a deal, okay? It becomes, I mean, your approach anxiety starts to decrease, right, rapidly. And it's no different than fighting and taking a hit, right? As a matter of fact, when I used to take martial arts, what my instructor would do is just put you in the center and let people take a shot at you, right? I think my football coach did this too. We just put you in the center and people would take shots at you, right? And you can't hit them back, to where, you know, you get used to just taking a punch, right, and getting hit. And then you realize, okay, this isn't too bad, right? And obviously they're holding back a little bit, you know, in karate class. Not so much in football, but in karate class, like we would hold back. We wouldn't try to like hurt anyone. but you get used to taking it, right? And then especially when you get involved in sparring and kumite, at least from a martial arts standpoint, you know, you're going to get hit every now and then. You're going to take a hit, right? Maybe you might take a kick to the head or whatever, and then you'll just shake it off, be like, okay, good shot, good shot. Maybe you might take a hard hit every once in a blue moon. You're like, okay, let me get my head back on straight. Right? But you learn to accept it, right? And the goal of this is not to become some world-class, you know, UFC fighter or anything like that. The goal is for you to feel comfortable enough to where you can protect yourself, right? Protect your loved ones, protect your woman. If the situation arises where you need to step up, you know, and that's going to be very few and far between, especially if you're not really going out like I am. You're not really in these crazy social environments where emotions are high. People aren't using their heads. There's alcohol. Sometimes even, you know, people are on drugs, right? You just never know. You just have to be able to de-escalate these situations. I mean, something happened recently, actually, where I was at, me and my girl were driving back from LA and, not LA, from Vegas, and we're heading to the Bay Area. So we went through Bakersfield, stopped at this Del Taco. I was feeling Del Taco. Going to Del Taco, going there to eat. We're in there. Really, there's nobody in there but us. And then there was a Hispanic family, Mexican family behind us. It was just like two ladies. I think one was like a single mom and maybe her friend, and then a few kids, right? Kids are probably like 8 years old. Me and my girl are sitting there eating our burrito, minding our own business. And this dude walks in, just kind of looking around. I knew immediately something's wrong with this dude. He's on something, or just something's off, right? You know those situations, right? You've probably been in them before. You're just in this situation where somebody walks in and you're like, dude, why can't we just live in peace, right? Why does the guy have to pull this right here, right now? I'm trying to just enjoy my meal. So this dude walks in. This, like, I'm going to say he was probably close to around 40s, 45, kind of scraggly looking, this white dude, right? Yeah, scraggly looking, very kind of thin, right? But looked like he was a cyclist or something, but you could tell something's off with him. Walks into the Del Taco, bless you kids, dog just sneezed. Walks in and he was asking people to buy him a burrito or a taco or something. And then after a minute, maybe less than that, he starts flipping out, screaming at everyone, mostly in my direction, actually. Starts saying a lot of obscenities and bad language, and their kids in the back. I could have easily stood up and been like, you know, and really started shouting him down, but because there were kids there, he was like screaming his head off, and I decided I was going to give him a few more seconds, which he eventually just left on his own. He kicked the door open and ran off on his own, screaming his head off. Turned out the guy, I mean, just based on his behavior, was schizophrenic, right? The guy was a schizo. He might have been packing. I mean, you see these things on the news all the time where some person's schizophrenic and they're paranoid, like somebody's following them or something, and then they whip out a knife and they stab the person who's right in front of them for no reason, right? So you never know when you're in these situations. However, immediately when he was screaming his head off and he was in the restaurant, my girl was sitting more to my left. I started pulling her chair behind me, right? And he saw me do that. I'm letting him know, like, okay, you're not going to harm her and you're not going to harm these kids behind me, right? So, but I let him get it out. But he knew, like, just almost subconsciously, like, okay, this dude is putting himself in a position. You know, you just know as guys. This guy is putting himself in a position to, you know, protect these people. And, you know, if I come closer, he may get up, right? I didn't have to get up because he ended up leaving. But I felt like even with his, you know, paranoid delusions, he understood. There's kind of like this secret language between guys, like, you know, F around and find out, right? Don't do it, dude. Just don't put us in this situation where, you know, something has to happen. And I was ready to protect her and the kids back there. So the reason you need to learn how to fight is simply, as Mr. Miyagi once brilliantly said in The Karate Kid 1984, the reason you learn to fight is why? So you don't have to fight, right? That's really the reason behind it, is so you don't have to fight. Okay, you'll have nothing to prove, but if the situation rises and you need to protect yourself, you can, right? And that's what's at the heart of this. This is why I tell you guys, you need to overcome your fear of fighting, right? And it's something that, like anything, right? Any fears that you have that you overcome, it feels great, doesn't it? You just feel so much more powerful, so much more confident. Your self-esteem goes up, right? Your belief, your self-belief goes up, right? And life just feels better, right? And it doesn't mean that you're going to go out there and, you know, pick fights with people. At least I hope you don't, right? You're not going to, because you're going to run across the wrong dude one day. You know, you're just learning how to fight for the main reason that it's something that you should learn as a man. And, you know, nobody likes to get hit. Doesn't feel good. It hurts. So that's why you want to avoid fighting, right? But guys who do know how to fight, I mean, you guys out there who've been in fights, won a lot of fights, you notice that because you know how to fight, it's almost this sixth sense that other guys can kind of feel off of you that might want to test you to see if they can, you know, see if you'll react. A lot of these guys will be a lot more hesitant to F around and find out when it comes to you, right? Because they can sense like, this guy might kick my ass, right? This guy looks like he means business, right? They sense this kind of like firmness or you know, this groundedness about you, right? And you can give that off too. I mean, even if you can't fight, I mean, you can give that off just the same. But really, the whole purpose for learning how to protect yourself and how to put up your dukes and how to defend yourself is so you don't have to, right? But knowing that you can in the event you have to, you know, you could pull it out. It's kind of like, you know, having a gun, you know, and just knowing that, hey, if you need to use it, you can. You don't want to, but if you need to, you can, right? Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if you have to protect yourself, then you can. So with that said, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know your experience with fighting. If you've gotten a lot of fights, share your story below. Or if you've never been in a fight ever in your life, if you've never ever been in a fight, a fist fight ever in your life, drop your comments below and let me know. And sometimes that's bad too, right? That's bad too if you've never ever fought anybody in your life. Especially if you've never gotten your ass kicked. I believe everybody should get their ass kicked at least once because it really humbles you. And I've noticed people in the world, both male and female, especially guys, right? Just because women don't really resort to physical violence, they just sabotage each other. But for guys that I see out there that are kind of just, you know, the most obnoxious, to say the least, and unwilling to respect other people's boundaries and just feeling like they could get away with murder. These are guys that have not yet had their asses kicked. Doesn't mean that they can't get their asses kicked. They're like tough or anything. It just means for whatever reason, they were able to just slide through the cracks and nobody really kicked their ass back in school. To the point where now this person's kind of acting like a menace and they need to get their ass kicked, you know? So I almost think it's good when you get your ass kicked when you're younger because it does humble you. Right? It makes you realize, like, hey, I'm not Superman, and there could be somebody out there who could whoop me if, you know, if it comes to blows. And even if you become this crazy good fighter and you can protect yourself and never lose a fight again, you still have that memory, like, okay, yeah, that doesn't feel good, right? So, in any case, as always, guys, yeah, drop your comments below, and I'll see your story down there below, and feel free to share, and I'll see you there in the next coaching video. I'm out.
Until next time, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets signing out here with my DeLorean as usual. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube channel. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe. Helps me out a ton when you subscribe, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work and all this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill, and awesome pill that I'm teaching you guys even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason I'm doing that is to protect my content from YouTube. In case they ever try to shut us down, they won't be able to, because all of my premium content will be protected on our private encrypted server that will be up forever. And I'm paying for it so they can never take us down. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male Secrets content for me. So take advantage of it. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.